Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Western Oklahoma Sports Night. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, here with you and taking some time to bring you some content here on Lawdog Sports. And it is a hot night in Western Oklahoma. And it's also just on the heels of storms and more storms possibly on the way. Storms in Eastern Oklahoma. It's just crazy time of year. But apparently, one area that didn't get affected by the storms, and that's the Oklahoma University Lady Sooners rowing team. And we are visited this evening by, I call her an old friend. I called 2 years. Let's see, was it 2 years of her high school basketball? I think so. Kennedy Stewart here with us this evening. KJ, that's what we called you around Weatherford, and former Weatherford Lady Eagle, now Lady Sooner rowing team. And you guys had a big finish at the Big 12 tournament. Talk about your freshman year at OU, and just it's great to have you on, by the way, and thanks for taking time to do that.
No problem. I'm great to be on. It's glad to be on.
Yeah,
It
thanks.
was a good year. It was a good year.
Yeah.
It was a
Well,
great year.
you leave Weatherford. You were a softball player. I called some of your softball games, and then you're I remiss on I called 2 seasons of your high school career, it's junior and senior, and then also, you were a track, standout at Weatherford as well. So, was rowing anywhere on your radar when you left Weatherford to go to Norman?
No, definitely not. I had
Okay.
never heard of rowing at all
Yeah,
until the summer going into it. My plan was to just be a student. I was just kind of, I had my plan was either just to go to OU or to go to Western and Altus for basketball. I had an offer there.
yeah,
And I was gonna do that, but just I don't know, my last basketball season, I kind of just took it out of me. So I was in the right headset to or mindset to be doing that.
yeah.
So I was just like, I just want to go to school. Like I've always been a student athlete. I really just want to like go to school and stuff like that. So that was totally the plan. And then when like one of the first few weeks I was on campus, I just one of the assistant coaches, they were handing out flyers for their tryouts. And so she handed me out a flyer and
Now, did she have
I
any
guess
idea
that's
who you were? Like, was it just
no, like
she saw this
she
6 foot tall girl walking around
yeah.
and said, "Let's see if she
Yeah.
wants to row?"
Yeah. She's like, you look like athletic, like here you go. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like,
Yeah,
thanks,
okay.
appreciate it. But I was just like, I wasn't even gonna go. I was like, I don't know, like I don't even know what rowing is. Like I can't swim. Like I don't know how this is gonna work. Like I don't know how it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But I ended up going to the tryouts and then I guess I just fell in love with it. It was fun.
Well, that's awesome. So a trip to Sarasota, Florida, that had to be pretty nice for the Big 12 championships. And then fifth place finishes. That how does that rank as opposed to, because I'll be totally transparent. OU Lady Sooner rowing has not been something that's been on my radar before I heard that you
Yeah.
were doing it. But how did that compare to other seasons? Have they had better? Is that one of their better seasons? How does that rank in rowing seasons for OU?
Rowing is a fairly new program at OU. I think our first year was I don't even know. I want to say 2012, but that might be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I just know that it's new. And that's like the same for most schools, period. Like women's rowing is kind of a new thing. Not a new thing, but like in NCAA, being recognized by the NCAA, it's new.
Yeah.
But I know that we have won a Big 12 championship before, but it was a long time ago. But we have a new head coach. This is her second year. Her name's Sarah Trowbridge, and she's a former Olympian. She's an amazing coach and stuff like that. So I really feel like we're in a rebuilding process right now. And but she's an amazing coach. The whole staff is incredible. Like it's crazy. Like it's crazy because like I've heard stories about like other like Division 1 coaches and how like like they're kind of nightmares, but like this staff is truly like an amazing staff, and they really are just like committed to us like being Big 12 champs and stuff like that. And I honestly think in the next couple of years, like we're kind of like in a rebuilding process right now. We just lost 12 seniors,
Wow.
So we're definitely in a rebuilding process right now, but I definitely think in the next few years we're gonna come home with a medal.
Sounds kind of familiar situation for you being called to probably be a leader as an underclassman. I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds resoundingly like your career in basketball at Weatherford. You were sophomore and junior, I'm sure, already kind of a leader on the team. So that's outstanding. And I saw where one of your teammates earned Big 12, all Big 12 honors, Emma Lazenby.
Yeah.
And then also looking at the information from the website, Tennessee and Alabama competed with the Big 12. So does that mean that when Oklahoma moves to the SEC, they'll still participate in the Big 12, or will there
Yeah,
be
it's
an
just
SEC conference for rowing?
that's what like it's kind of been like back and forth because it's just women's rowing is just a unique situation and stuff like that. And so Alabama and Tennessee are the only two SEC schools with the rowing program as of like now and stuff like that. So they kind of had to compete in the Big 12 conference.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard is I think they are going to split the conference. So like we will be in the SEC, like, and it'll just be a 4-team conference with us, Texas, Alabama, and Tennessee. And then Big 12 will also be a 4-team conference with Kansas, Kansas State, UCF, and
West
I
Virginia.
can't remember the other one. West Virginia. Yeah, West Virginia. I couldn't remember the other
Well,
one.
and
But yeah, I don't know why they didn't just keep
yeah,
it the same, but I just think they want an easier conference, to be honest with you, which
yeah.
whatever. We're
Well,
definitely gonna be one of the hardest conferences.
definitely. And it's one of those sports, it seems like, and when I saw that Texas won the Big 12 championship, I just thought, well, that kind of sounds about right, because a lot of the sports that don't get quite of the notoriety, it seems like the University of Texas really has the resources to put into that, and has kind of been out ahead of the game. But does is the Oklahoma program, is it kind of related to kind of, I mean, would there be rowing at the University of Oklahoma if there wasn't the river center and things like, is that part of where you all train, or how does that work for your team?
Yes. So we train at the river. Yeah, we don't train at the river sport. It's on the other side of the
Yeah.
river. It's like across the river and stuff like that. But we are like the head coach there at River Sport. Her name is Riley Dampier. I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. But she's very nice and stuff like that. And we're good friends with her. I'm actually going to a camp this summer that she's hosting and stuff like that at River Sport.
Yeah.
So she's very nice, stuff like that. But we kind of like work with them, stuff like that. Like when they had to drain their side of the river, they came, we used our boathouse and everything like that. But yeah, we wake up extra early in the morning and we take a bus out 30 minutes into the city to practice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But not every practice is on the water. We do a lot of land workouts too, just to get in the shape it takes to be in the
Sure.
boat and stuff like that. But yeah, if definitely you need a river to row. So that definitely comes to play in it.
No doubt. And I just wondered, because I was a police officer in Oklahoma City, and I can remember when that was just old Sandy River, kind of like the Canadian, really. And
Yeah.
they've really done a lot of stuff to it. And, I just hope you guys don't ever row up on a body or something.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that river.
It is the inner city.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes it can get a little stinky,
Yeah.
like, but it just adds character.
Well, it
It's,
just
it's just
encourages the
a little
row factor.
adversity, never hurt anyone.
Yeah. We're visiting with Kennedy Stewart, former Weatherford Lady Eagle basketball, softball, track standout, and now she is a member of the Oklahoma Ladies Sooner rowing team, and they just finished fifth at the Big 12 championships in Sarasota, Florida. And explain to me what these, I'm seeing these, I don't know if they're heats or different. Uh, it's a 3v8 plus. Can you explain those to the common potential
Yes.
fan?
Okay, so we row fours and eights. So like eight girls in a boat and then four girls in a boat and stuff like that. So you kind of think of it as track as like there's different events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But so a 1v8 is the first of the V stands for varsity. So 1v8 is the first varsity eight. And then the 2v8 is the second varsity eight, and the 3v8 is the third varsity eight. So I was in the third varsity eight, and that is the eight for novices, which is what I'm considered because your first year that you go, you're a novice, stuff like that. So I was lucky enough to be chosen for the 3v8, which was all novices, which we were the only boat in that whole entire race that were all novices and had never raced before and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we ended up finishing fifth. We probably should have finished third, but not everything works out the way you want it
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We got next year, but that's what the eights mean. And then the same thing with the fours, like 2v4,
Yeah.
3v4, stuff like
Okay.
that.
Well, that will help me go a long ways in following you guys in the future. So, is it just a springtime event, or do you have events in the fall also?
Yes, it's kind of like, yeah, we do have events in the fall. They're usually like, I don't know, like exhibition kind of things. Like, they go, where did we go? I didn't go to this one. It was just the two eights, but they went to the head of the Charles in it's somewhere in the north. I
Oh,
want to
Charles
say like the
River.
New York
I think
area. I
I think
don't
that's
know, but
is that not
it's a very
Massachusetts?
yeah, it's something like yeah,
It's
it's in Massachusetts.
okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's a very prestigious race. They went there in the fall and then they hosted it's called like a regatta in the fall too. So it's not as extensive. It's almost kind of like I don't want to say scrimmages, but kind of, but
Sure.
like the real like racing because we have 8 races in a season and that is in the spring.
Okay. Man, I tell you, it's just amazing. And let me ask you this: compare the the level of exertion that you do in rowing compared to like basketball. Are you well, two things. Are you like, I'm sure there's a training staff with the rowing team. I'm sure you guys are your nutrition and things or is more overseen. Talk about that as a transition from a high school athlete to a collegiate athlete, if you would.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in high school, athletics were like I don't know. I always took athletics very seriously and stuff like that.
I'd say
And
so too.
like, yeah, I take it very seriously. It was a large part of my life
Yeah.
and everything like that. And there's girls on your team, and especially like if you're a senior and you're 18 years old and you're playing with girls who are 14 years old, that just got out of
Mhm.
middle school. And I'm not saying I had teammates that worked very, very hard and stuff like that, but I also had teammates that, they were just there to have fun, and that's perfectly fine. That's what high school's for. Like, that's amazing. Like, I'm glad that they had fun and stuff like that. I guess the main difference is when you're in high school, you're with girls that they're not there just to have fun. Like they're
Sure.
there because they want a Big 12 championship that like you're rowing with girls who are state champions in their sport in high school, that they were their standouts and they were like
Yeah.
absolute beasts. That they had offers to go play basketball, they had offers to go play softball, all soccer, all these things. Like they're athletes and stuff like that, especially coming from Weatherford. It's such a small town and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And these girls came from like Dallas and like California, and they were standouts there with where they have a lot more like not hate on Western Oklahoma, but like, like competition, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But so definitely that, just like my teammates. My teammates are amazing. They're all amazing women and stuff like that. And then also the coaching staff. I'm like, our head coach is an Olympian. Like it's
Good.
definitely like the stand like it's just the standards higher, I guess, is that. And obviously, honestly, like that as far as like the nutrition, the exercise goes, I think Weatherford has like it really made me appreciate how amazing Weatherford is at our strength and conditioning program with like Taylor Sossaman and that whole crew. They are truly just like amazing at their jobs and stuff like that. It really got me prepared for like the strength conditioning at OU. And I told him that at the state basketball game for the boys state basketball game. I found him and I was like, thank you. Because if it wasn't for you, I would definitely be behind and stuff like that. Like I know I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing. So
Well, you go
shout
find
out to Taylor
sauce.
Sossaman.
You go find sauce, but you don't come find me. Thanks a lot.
Oh my
No,
you
hey,
probably I don't know. It was just
we
a
were on the other side,
crowd of
so
people.
you
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to come over there. So, well, I tell you, and so these. So let me ask you this: these teammates that you've had, did they come to Oklahoma specifically to row, or were they kind of like your situation where a coach spot him, said, "Hey, you look like you're athletic. Have you played sports? Won't you come row?" What's the majority of the teammate situation?
So like on my like novice squad, because like I said, there's like the varsity and then there's a novice. So like in my novice squad, definitely the same situation as I am. Like they thought they were done with sports. Like there's girls on my team that the sports that they did in high school, like I have one girl in my just for like an example, she cheered in high school. Like so
Yeah.
with that, I'm not saying cheer is not like hard or something like that. Like she cheered and stuff like that. And I think she did play soccer a little bit, but I don't think it was really like that serious or whatever. And she comes here and she's literally our top rower. She won novice of the year. Like she's an absolute beast, like and like amazing and stuff like that. So, and then there's the same to be said with a bunch of girls. Like there is a girl on my team that she was like, it's not, I don't want to say they recruited, but she did row in high school and stuff like that. So she was recruited,
Mhm.
but she had some injuries and stuff like that. So she had and so instead of like going into like as rigorous as the varsity does and like jump right into that, she decided to stay with the novice so she can like slowly kind of get
Oh,
back things after her injury.
yeah.
So there's things like that. And then there's like situations like Caroline Downs, um Ethan Downs' wife and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
When she moved up to OU and she didn't join the team till she decided to join the team and it wasn't until the second semester. So she joined the team, like she came to OU and joined the team in the second semester and stuff like that. And our coach was like, yeah, you're freaking athletic, 6 foot athletic track
Yeah.
star at SWASU. Like, yeah, you can come try out and stuff like that. And she literally came to our spring training camp in Chula Vista, California, and she's a
Cool.
beast. She is
So
amazing and stuff like that.
there's some familiarity and a connection there too for you. I mean,
Yes, very much.
that's got to be great as a freshman too.
Yes, it was very good to see her come and stuff like that because I didn't know her that well before she came. I just knew of her, and she's awesome and stuff like that. We actually ended up being a pair partner,
Yeah.
so she's the girl right in front of me in the boat and stuff like that. So it's pretty awesome. It's a pretty
Well,
small world.
so as a basketball player and softball player, you were a vocal leader, and that's what I used to love about calling your games. Uh, are you kind of assuming that position within, and how does that work in a rowing situation?
Yes, so it's definitely different because there's some girls that are like way older than me, like in the novice squad, because it doesn't matter it doesn't just mean you're a freshman, it means like it's your first year. So some of these
Yeah.
girls, there's a girl on my novice team, she's a grad student. She played 4 years of D1 field hockey at St. Louis University, and she came here for her master's, and she's like, "Hey, like I have another year of eligibility. Why don't I join the rowing team?" Like,
Oh,
so like that. So like it's so like there's girls that are 23 on my team. Like I like so with that, but I try. I feel like I'm not. I don't know. I felt like at Weatherford, I was a lot more, yeah, vocal. I feel like I'm more of like a lead by example. Like I come in every day at practice and I'm giving it my one, like my all and stuff like that. And I can say the same thing for all of my teammates. I feel like we all really like push each other and stuff like that. Like we all really push each other. I feel like we're all leaders like in our own way and stuff like that. We all hold each other accountable because we really want to win and stuff like that. But like so far in the boat, the only person that really talks in the boat is our coxswain, which
yeah.
is a small girl in the front that tells us what to do
Um,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. And that's just kind of the rule. Like whatever she says, like because the coach tells her what to say. So like whatever she
Okay.
says goes. So I'm not gonna talk back to her.
Sure.
But as far as just like, hey, like you can do better and stuff like that. Like that was good, but you can do better. Like
Well,
that's not gonna beat Texas. Like, come on. Like that's what we always say. Like
yeah.
that's our goal is to beat Texas, of course.
That's
But
probably a big goal too, and because like I said, they do seem to have a lot. I mean, I saw a tweet the other day. I think they won 14 or 15 Big 12 championships in their final year in the Big 12, and some of that includes basketball or football, but most of it's stuff like volleyball and some of the other sports. But well, and looking at y'all's roster, Kennedy, is there's a ton of kids on. I
yeah,
say kids because I'm old, but
there's a lot of us.
there's a ton of y'all. But this is obviously, you mentioned you're losing 12 seniors, I believe, at the beginning.
Yes.
So
So
like I
yeah,
said,
we're losing 12. The reason there's so much is because we're actually due to like Title IX, we're the female equivalent of the football team.
okay,
So that's why it's like other schools, if they don't have a rowing team, they have a bunch of other sports to like kind of even it out, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
if there's as many roster spots as the football team has, we have on our rowing team.
Wow, how cool.
Mhm.
So I see a player or I see a, teammate of yours from Weatherford, Texas, Peyton Alberts. Y'all have
Yes.
arguments about which Weatherford's best.
Yes, I didn't even know she was from Weatherford, Texas. She went to a all-girls Catholic school, so she didn't
Oh,
actually go to like the Weatherford High School there
not a
and stuff
kangaroo.
like that. So yeah, she went to like an all-girls Catholic school. But I didn't even realize till a few like until the roster came out, she was from Weatherford, Texas and stuff like that. So we
Yeah,
didn't really say anything, but we all know which one's the best. So like
yeah,
that.
that's right.
I don't think it deserves the conversation.
It
That's just
really
obvious.
that's a
Yeah,
Texas Weatherford.
yeah, yeah.
Summertime coming up. What's your agenda coming for your summer? You gonna be, I guess, training still with the team? Is that something that goes on throughout the summer? Strength and conditioning, things like that. What's your plan and your schedule look like for this summer?
Yeah, I have about a month of just like obviously like training on my own and stuff like that and doing what I needed to do. And then late June, I'm actually going, like I said previously, to OKC to train with Riley Dampier, which I'm pretty sure she's a former Olympian too. She rode with our coach in a pair boat and stuff like that. And I'm training with her for about 2 weeks, and then there's it's called Row Fest, and it's like the youth national championship kind of thing in OKC. And then right after that, I'm going with her squad to Canada to race and train for the Canadian Henley, and that'll be 3 weeks long. And then I get to race it in Canada.
Wow, that is that is really cool. You and not only, being involved with a collegiate program, but y'all have been at some amazing places. Sarasota, Florida had to have been cool, and then the Charles River, like I said, I think pretty sure that's Boston area. So uh now did you go on that one?
I didn't go to the
Okay,
head of the
that's good.
Charles. I know, sad,
But you'll go
but I
to other
did
places,
go.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I did go to Sarasota twice. We went once for the Big Ten invite, and then we went again for the Big 12s. And then our training camp was in Chula Vista, California, which is the San Diego area.
That
And
would
that
be
was pretty
really
cool.
neat, and I'm so happy for you that you're getting and that you found this and I mean I would have been just as happy if you'd played basketball at Altus, at Western,
Yeah,
but a
I
new
don't know if I would
chapter,
have been.
yeah, a new chapter, and just something that is a totally new experience for you. That's I'm happy for you, and that's got to be really kind of a thrill to be there as a freshman to be a part of something like that to just step into it. I don't know if you could script that as well in some movies and stuff like that. It's really cool how that kind of opened up for you and how they saw the potential in you. And I'm extremely happy for you.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Well, so anybody from you said you ran into Coach Sauce at the playoffs. Have you talked to any of your other coaches or anything since you've been on campus at OU?
Coach Bell, my throwing coach, he's
Yeah.
always texting me, like telling me like how proud he is of me, like wishing me good luck. Love that man. He's
Yeah.
one of the best coaches I've ever had. Such a nice guy and stuff like that.
Good.
He's the throwing, yeah, he's throwing, he retired here, but
Yeah.
yeah, amazing guy. But
Well,
he's always texting me, asking me. And then Coach Gibbons has texted me a few times
yeah.
telling me like good job, good luck, and stuff like that. But
Well, that's awesome. Well, Kennedy, I tell you, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on such a wonderful first season. Now, you was I thinking right? Did you did art as well, right?
yeah, I did.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Because
did.
we were talking about Brinley Glassey and she does art. You were an artist, so obviously if you're 6 foot tall living in Weatherford, you're artistically inclined. That's so cool.
That's true. It's been a while. I was really into it my junior year and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I took like the AP art exam and all that stuff. And I did pretty well in it. I got a 4 out of 5. I did pretty good. I liked it, but I don't know. I think that class kind of artistically drained me. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I do it every now and then. I'm definitely not as talented as Brinley Glassey. That girl's on another level. Like
Oh,
she's crazy.
you guys both did really cool stuff that I saw, so that's outstanding. And I'm just proud of you and proud of being able to call your junior and senior seasons for Weatherford basketball and just really happy for you that you're doing something outstanding and something that you obviously enjoy there at OU, and Boomer Sooner, baby. That's all I got to say is, that at the end of the day, you could be on the Tiddlywink squad, and if it's OU Sooners, I can root for it. That's the thing.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I would imagine some of your events will also be televised more with the upcoming SEC network and connections with that. So we'll anytime we see something, or we'll be following you on social media, we'll try to put it out there so folks in Dubtown really know where they can catch KJ on competition.
It's amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Problem. Kennedy, take care of yourself. Thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. She's Kennedy Stewart, former Weatherford Lady Eagle. I got to call 2 of her seasons in high school for her basketball career, and it was a lot of fun to be able to call her and see the sports and the competition level when she was on the squad, and then also now she is at Oklahoma University on the rowing team and doing great things there. We'll take a quick break, come back, and be back here with you on Western Oklahoma Sports Night. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. Hey, everybody, Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog here. And if there are 2 things you can count on when it's springtime in Oklahoma, that's allergies and severe weather. So there's a good chance you're dealing with damage to your home as we speak, and then also fighting off all the companies going door to door as well. Don't take chances. Call my friend Mark McCaleb at Shamrock Roofing Systems and Construction. I've been friends with Mark for 30 years, and he's trustworthy and will take care of anything you need for your home after the storm. Whether it's residential or commercial, Shamrock Roofing Systems and Construction should be the call you make to repair your home. Just give them a call at 405-763-7663. That's 405-763-ROOF, or find them online at shamrockroofingsystems.net and find them on Facebook at Shamrock Roofing Systems and Construction. Make today your lucky day and call Shamrock Roofing Systems and Construction. Back here with you on Western Oklahoma Sports Night. Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. Thank you to Kennedy Stewart for taking some time to visit with us on a Zoom call. Busy college student, or maybe wrapped up with school for all we know, but always a fiery competitor. I always appreciated Kennedy Stewart and what she brought to the court for the Weatherford Lady Eagles, and 6 foot tall, great forward at times, just really dominant in the paint and could really get things going. And now she's in a new endeavor on the rowing team at the University of Oklahoma. So that is an outstanding thing as well. And also, you heard our spot there for Shamrock Roofing Systems and Construction. A lot of hail went through the other night. Be sure and go to Facebook and like their page, Shamrock Roofing Systems and Construction. They're based out of Newcastle, but my friend Mark McCaleb is an old Tuttle Tiger, and we've known each other, been friends for 30 years. And his roofing company does a lot of great work, and they could get you squared away. And I'll go and throw it out there. He's a retired police officer like myself. We were co-workers and partners with the OCPD for several years as well. So give Mark McCaleb a call at Shamrock Roofing and Systems and Construction, 405-763-7663. That's 405-763-7663. That's 763-ROOF in the 405 area code. So be sure and give him a shout. So great to catch up with KJ. And like I said, just one of my favorite players that I've called their games for. There's not a whole lot of players that I've called their games for, but as far as a Weatherford Lady Eagles, she was a lot of fun to be able to call her games. So looking at some things over social media this week, and I reached out to a young man to see if we could get him on the show, and he was pretty busy playing with his I guess it would be an AAU team. I never know if AAU is a blanket term or how that works with high school basketball, but there is a AAU program team with several local players, 2 local players in particular, Ethan and Tate Sage, which also was a situation where they were the Sage twins have been offered by Pittsburgh State the Division II school in Pittsburgh, Kansas. They received offers this weekend and put that out on social media. But one thing that we did notice, or two things we did notice, is that their team, the Rogue, it is Rogue basketball, and they had a big tournament over the weekend and won the tournament over some really good competition, and then also were able to really pull out a win in Wichita, Kansas. And according to the Twitter, is that they were taking on the #1 ranked Pro 16 team, and so Ethan and Tate Sage with big games in that one, and then one of their teammates as well, as we look at Twitter and see that they shared their team shared that their offers came in from Pittsburgh State, the Gorillas out of Pittsburgh, Kansas, big program up that way in Division II, but also a lot of solicitation on Facebook and Twitter saying, hey, coaches, take notice of these guys. And with these players, and I've seen them play since they were freshmen, and I would wonder why they hadn't been noticed already. Obviously they play with CJ Nixon, who garners a lot of attention, a great player also. But I'm telling you, these Sage twins, they carry a lot of skill to the table with them, and I think that's going to translate well to the collegiate game. But they have a teammate also on the squad, and his name is Walker Kennedy, and he was a former Piedmont Wildcat. And he announced last week on social media, it was the 16th, which was last Thursday. He announced with a picture on his Twitter page, standing in front of the Weatherford High School building, and saying that he will play his senior year as a Weatherford Eagle. And they're moving out to Weatherford from Piedmont, he and his family. So a big pickup for the Weatherford Eagles as they lost Nate Rareman to graduation. He'll be beginning his career at SWASU upcoming, but Nate was a 6'6" forward, and could really defend and play the wings and also rebound and things like that. Just an all around kid, hit some big threes in the state tournament. But this Walker Kennedy kid is a little different breed of cat as far as what the fifth player of the starting five brought last year. And he is an outside shooter and averaged a lot of points for the Wildcats, Piedmont Wildcats, over the past year or two. So it's going to be interesting as he comes into Dubtown to become a Weatherford Eagle, and probably a big step in going towards making another final in Class 4A for Coach Derek Bull. So that's going to be something that we will follow. And if you follow us on Twitter at Lawdog Sports, you'll know that we share those posts like that, so you can keep up and keep informed as well. I try to do it with Facebook as well, but so many of the high school sports are predominantly on Twitter. It's really hard to get those going for that. So, but we'll do our best. I try to bounce back and forth and bring you the latest in what we find out, particularly here on Western Oklahoma Sports Night. And so a lot of things going on as well. I know baseball and summer baseball's getting kicked off. I had the privilege to, and it looks like our Facebook feed might have frozen. So I don't know. Well, that worked, but we'll do some editing and post. So if you're with us on Facebook, my apologies. There we are. So I don't know what I did, but all of a sudden the Zoom was gone. But anyway, so like I said, we are on Twitter at Lawdog Sports, and then also we're putting our podcast now on it's Spotify. It used to be Anchor FM, but also on SoundCloud. SoundCloud is our primary podcast page, so you can catch all of our past episodes on our SoundCloud page, and it's the Lawdog Sports Podcast. If you go to lawdogsports.com, you can get to everything that we put out there, and also leave a comment and give us your take or any information you want us to have, and we will read a question or comment from you on the air if you wish. So we are going to get out of here for a Tuesday night edition of Western Oklahoma Sports Night. And we want to thank Kennedy Stewart, former Weatherford Lady Eagle and now Lady Sooner rower, on the rowing team for Oklahoma University down in Norman. And we want to thank her for taking time and getting us caught up with everything going on with her. And we're so proud that she's there taking care of business and really going to do great things, I would imagine, with the Oklahoma Lady Sooners rowing team. So thank you, Kennedy Stewart, for your time. And thank you for tuning in. And we will be back next week with another episode of Western Oklahoma Sports Night, where we keep you up to date with anything going on in the world of sports in Western Oklahoma. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Lawdog Sports, as well as Instagram. And then also you can see the podcast episodes on the Lawdog Sports podcast page on Facebook. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive, and we'll talk to you down the road. This has been Western Oklahoma Sports Night. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog.